just a touch, baby. I look around and since it is cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly where you're going. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. I'm running out of time, so I hit the road in overdrive. I can see the sun light up the sky, baby. Since it is cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly where you're going. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. Just walking by to let you know I can never say it on the phone. We'll never let you go this time. I said, oh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. Oh, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust.
Well, well, well. We are hopefully back again, and hopefully we are live. Live indeed from the rolling hills of Murrayshire in the far northeast corner of bonny Scotland. Where else would you rather be? Is there anywhere else you would rather be? Of course, in a geographical sense, Scotland is majestic, somewhat staggering is a word I like to use, especially for when I'm describing the beauty of Scotland. But on a political landscape, holy moly, it is rotten to its absolute core. Criminal would not cut it. You are dealing with the worst kind of people you could even imagine. when you're talking about the political establishment here in Scotland and the UK. And yeah, add let's add to that the world right across NATO stan, Europe, America, the land of hope and glory. Hooray! Sure, let's go with that. So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are in this absolutely insane world that we live in. Holy moly. Where do you even begin? Anybody? I'm hoping we're okay for the audio tonight. We should be live on the backup channel. And tonight, actually, for the first time, for the first time since I don't know when, we're actually only live here. That's Life But Not As We Know It too. Nowhere else. Not even on the original, not on the third, not on the Twitter, not on the Spacebook, not on the Odyssey, not even on the website tonight. So here we are, me and you. Let me know how you're getting on. The spraying lately, they seem to be, it seems to always get done where I'm at anyway. I can only speak for my area, but a lot of it seems to be done early in the morning and then not so much in the daytime. But I have seen videos of places in Scotland where they do spray at night. Not only are they spraying at night or late evening, but you can see it's not a classic kind of white, grey, milky chemtrail. It's more like a black chemtrail, which is fitting, which is kind of fitting really tonight when we're talking about BlackRock, aka Black Rockefeller, you could probably call it. I mean, every turn, every corner, every stone that you look under, there is the wee lizard that is the Rockefeller entity. They are, I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but it's quite, it amazes me the amount of, the amount of power, the amount of power that this entity has. It just should not be. It shouldn't. No way should this foundation, if you like, the Rockefeller entity, no way should it have the power that it's got right across the board, not just in America or the UK, it's everywhere. And it is not just the big pharma, it's everything. The whole lot. Not only that, it's what's going to be coming in the future, like the super duper technology. Hooray! Where would we be without the technology? Technology. Man. Honestly, I feel like I would quite easily become Amish and move to Amish country. So, is there any? Is I guess the Amish won't be. They won't be watching YouTube, right? Or do they? I don't know. I don't even know that. I guess if they've got any sense, they won't be. What does that say about me? I'm unsure, but we're here anyway. Um, we reached a bit of a milestone on the original channel because we are over now the 5,000 subscribers, and honestly, it kind of shocks me, and so I guess I maybe don't give myself enough credit. Maybe too modest. We'll go with that, but honestly, when I think back, I could never have seen me ever accumulating so many uh, people who would willingly subscribe to my content. We're back. We're back in the room. You're probably wondering what happened. Of course, my daughter decided that she had to tell me something. So yeah, there would have been a complete audio blackout. Man, I can't even remember what I was talking about, to be honest. I'm unsure where we got to there. When you don't want to be disturbed, you always get disturbed. Is it just me? Maybe not, right? I think I was talking about the channel. Yeah, I never expected it to ever get to where it got. I never planned. I never really planned any of it. It kind of just unfolded, and I went with it. And over time, I grew this. I grew this. What would be a good way to describe it? I grew a kind of thirst for creating content, quite rapid, but I had already been dabbling in making different videos through football and just basically different photos of friends and family where you make a small video. And I had been doing stuff like that way back. I was doing that in about let me think. Oh Jesus. Oh man. I reckon since about maybe 2008, maybe. I think in about 2008 is when I kind of started trying to make videos, albeit very poorly, I may add. I was big into my music and stuff like that at the time. And anybody who knows me will know that I've always kind of dabbled in different content creation. And it's took me to where I am now. Where that is, I still don't know. Where it's going is anybody's guess. But wherever I go, I'm going to continue to create content. Hey, God granted, right? As long as I still can, as long as I'm able, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm not even sure what it is that I do. What's he talking about? Yeah, I know, right? I just do what I feel like doing. Whatever content I feel like creating. There's clearly subjects that we do tend to go to a lot, but I'm obviously drawn to them in a big way. But I'm open to. Uh, there's nothing that I won't. There's nowhere I won't go. To be fair, there is a video that I want to make on the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting, which you can't even mention it, and you get a strike. I'll probably get one now. Sandy Hook incoming strike. A lot of people, a lot of people claim Sandy Hook is it happened. Um, Personally, I'm unsure. The evidence that I can see would point to a different conclusion. And again, we've seen these. I've got to watch what I'm saying. We have seen these incidents. They're basically mirrored from time to time. They're very similar as well, to a T almost, which is a clear red flag. It's interesting when you get down to the topic of, did people get killed? Did people not get killed? That's an interesting one. Yeah, I've got to watch what I'm saying, right? You can't talk about it. I'll be getting Alex Jones. Hey, they can't get blood out of a stone anyway, so they can try their best, right? I have kind of briefly touched on it in the past. I think most people would know where I stand on it, to be honest. But I think there's a document that someone made who had researched it. And one of the biggest questions when this guy was looking into it, and there is a lot of people who have looked into it. Jones was, I mean, Jones is is clearly controlled opposition, right? And the fact that it was the Sandy Hook incident, that is also a red flag. Potentially, it was always going to be the case that Jones was going to get tied up with this court case. A complete circus, to be honest. A complete circus theatre. Excuse me. I should have muted it, right? So a complete circus when you get to Jones. But the document, I mean, the biggest question, what I was trying to get at there, the biggest question in this guy's view, and in my own view as well, is, was the school actually still in operation at the time? Because that question, a simple yes or no question, is would maybe confirm it or otherwise, right? And going by some of the evidence that they've got, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. And I think there's about 6 or 7 key points of evidence that point to, yeah, questions need to be asked here. But of course, you can't ask any questions, right? How dare you? If you ask questions, you're racist. It's racist to ask questions. Look out for it. It'll be racist to even speak words next. Nope, you can't speak words anymore. It's racist, right? You're a white supremacist if you use English words. Hey, actually, I better not give them any ideas. Let's not give them any ideas, right? So we will say hello if I can work the screen. Here we go. Mike Met in the hood. Good to see you back again. Great stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yep, yeah. And some of when I think back to some of the ones, there was a period in the UK where they had all these weird bombings, terrorist attacks on trains and buses. And I mean, whoa, man. One of them in particular, I always want to make a video on it. I mean, it cracked me up even at the time, and this was in about 2008, maybe. 7 possibly. And there was one incident in particular. I mean, oh my God. They clearly had a day off that day. And they tried to say it was a terrorist attack on a train in the UK. Honest, it was like a kid done it. Honestly, it was like a bucket on a train with a candle in it and nothing else basically. And that, but then there was like a hole they had somehow cut out in the train. And I mean, again, I probably should watch what I'm saying, but like I said at the start, that we go there anywhere that I'm drawn to, that I'm interested in going, and situations like that, I am, because if we are being lied to, you kind of feel that people need to know, right? Whether whether or not that would make any difference, that's another story. That is a completely other story. But we do try our best to expose what we can. Rich is in the hood as well. Good to see Rich back again. Great stuff. Phil as well. Where did he go? Ah, there he goes. Good to see Phil. A dog named Boo back again. Good to see you, my friend. Anyone that I missed, I'm hoping I'm hoping not. Oh, Dominic as well. Great stuff. Dave is in the hood. Big Davey, good to see you. Jojo Gizmo. Yeah, I think it would have been the Jerry Cinnamon. The Jerry Cinnamon track. It was the trailer. A great song, but one big issue with it. And that is it's not long enough. It should be longer, right? It should be like 5 minutes, but it's only about 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes, if that. And I mean, that's a short song, that, right? That's not long enough, that. Someone needs to say, look, Jerry, you need to make an extended version of the song A True Man's. Oh, I can't even remember the name of it now. A Man's Truth, maybe? I can't even remember. And Pamela as well. Pamela D in the hood. A pleasure. Yeah, great track. Joyce as well. Are you serious? In the hood. Good to see you. We're not too serious tonight. A bit laid back, but then again, it tends to be that, right? Yeah, the guy Fetzer, Jim Fetzer, he done quite a bit on Sandy Hook. Although it was kind of basically saying stuff that had already been said, to be honest. I remember following Fetzer way back in about 2009, 10. And there was another guy as well called Barry Satoro on YouTube. Obviously, Barry Satoro is the real name of Barack Obama. It wasn't Barack Obama, but it was another guy. I'm unsure. I think he might still be on the go, but he got kicked off of YouTube quite rapid, and he done a lot of work on the guy on Sandy Hook, and the guy. Oh, what was his name? Oh, fuck. Oh, there was a guy involved with Sandy Hook, and he played about 3 different roles on the day. Ah, man. You see him playing 2 different roles on camera. I can't remember his bloody name. Maybe that's a good thing, right? But you can tell it is the same guy. And he also points out that when he's dressed up as a SWAT team member, he's got no. It wasn't Russian vids. It's not him. He's dressed up as a SWAT team member, and he's carrying a rifle, quite a big assault rifle. But he's not carrying it properly. He's clearly, and I could tell that the minimal information and knowledge that I've got on firearms. Even I could see he was not holding the rifle properly at any moment, and tried to hide away from the camera, and all kinds of different things were pointed out. And but the key question again would be, was the school in operation? Because if not, where does that leave us? And look at everything that stemmed from Sandy Hook. A lot has stemmed from it, even today with the with the Alex Jones theatre. But there you go, right? So good to see Mike Met and Joyce in the hood. Great stuff. So BlackRock, where do you even begin? Hasdak as well. Good to see Hasdak. A monstrous entity. That's the only way I can describe BlackRock. There's probably a better way to describe it. But like I said, in my own view, it should not be, a company like this should not yield the power that it does. I mean, it's hard to even comprehend the stretch of its tentacles, a bit like the Rockefellers themselves, which of course, when you look underneath the black rock, it is indeed the Rockefellers. When you look at the money, that's who it is. They would be pulling the strings. And I mean, they've even got investments in Alphabet, Google, so even YouTube. And I mean, Alphabet itself is a monstrous company, a gigantic company. But there you are. Here we are. You've got BlackRock, even there, pulling strings. Alphabet, a gigantic company. And of course, Vanguard as well. Do we know what they deal in? Phil might let us know, right? So we'll jump to a screen share, if I can present, hopefully. So we'll jump back to the comments in a bit. Will I need the audio? I'm unsure. I don't know. Maybe you can let me know, right? We'll go without. Not that. Not slides. Honest to God, man. You would think I would get better at working. At working this stupid computer, right? We'll go with that. It's a poor workman that blames his tools, right? But there you go. So we should be screen sharing at the moment. There you go. It worked. So we'll make it the full screen. Hold on. It takes me forever to work it. There we go. So again, thank you very much to everyone who is subscribed on here on the original channel. I am honestly, I feel like a lot of people have thanked me for the content and what have you, but I feel like it's been a two-way relationship, and I feel like people here have helped me in more ways than I would even know. And I think through it all, especially going through 2020 and 2021, it was It was a seriously different time in the world, and we all went through it together. And we stood strong together, united, not in fear for 1 minute. And we all got through it together, and we're all willing to keep going. We're all willing to fight again. That is for sure. Uh, when it comes to the agenda, there is no end game. People talk about an end game. Oh, end game. There is no end game. There is just the game. That is the the tyranny, if you like, and it will continue. They will change the synthetic reality that we're in, not only in our time, but in the future time, whenever that may be. To what then? I don't know. That would be hard to comprehend. Back to square one, I guess, when it all goes a bit tits up, right? Maybe then we can build again. I've always said, and I still agree, I still stand by it. Before we can go anywhere, there has to be serious kickback, serious change. And when that does happen, if it does happen, we're going to be taken, in a societal sense, we're going to be taken maybe more than 2 steps back. But it is probably the only way that we're going to get forward, because the world that they have built, it needs to basically go. It would have to go. And everything that they've touched is corrupt. Um, Again, it kind of boils down to, well, is technology good or is it bad? Um, I guess bad in the wrong hands and good in the right hands, maybe. But overall, bad, probably. I'd have to go with that, to be honest. So we'll jump to BlackRock. So we'll screen share. Will I move? I don't think we need. I've moved me already. Man. So we're on the ball tonight, clearly, right? Clearly. So good evening. Let me know how you're getting on. We'll jump into the chat in a bit. So I would imagine everybody has heard of the company BlackRock. Surely. If not, where have you been, right? But they are somewhat, even though they are this monstrous, gigantic company, there is people out there who haven't heard of them. Black who? Yeah. But of course, what BlackRock do is they'll provide the money. Yeah. The good stuff, right? Say you had an idea, new technology, super duper AI technology, carbon neutral technology. Well, you would go knocking on BlackRock's door. And if they thought, yeah, actually, that's a good idea, then, hey presto, you would get access to the BlackRock fund. And if it was technology, it would be the BlackRock Technology Investment Fund. And of course, what they do is they'll provide the money, invest the money, but the majority of people, they won't see BlackRock. They see the company that's been invested in. So that's why, in a sense, you don't see them unless you go looking for them, basically. A bit like the Rockefeller entity. Shock horror. So if you go to BlackRock website. You'll get the latest on investment. We might come back to that. We'll jump now to some of the companies, the major companies. They're basically pulling strings, at least in. And the first one there is Apple, to the value of 133.73 billion shares owned. So not pennies. Let's put it that way. That's I couldn't even count to that number. Put it that way. You couldn't count to 10, right? I heard you saying that. The next one down, Microsoft Corp. So Apple and Microsoft. A gigantic amount of money involved there, share-wise. Amazon. Again, a gigantic amount of money. You're not talking millions, it's billions. This one company, BlackRock. So Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, United Health Group. Yeah. Of course, right? The ever-caring BlackRock. Yeah. Caring about health, not profit, health. Yeah. Let's go with that. So you can imagine, right? Like I said, Alphabet, Johnson and Johnson. What's next? Pfizer? So Alphabet, Johnson and Johnson, ExxonMobil. These are some of the big names. JP Morgan, Chase, of course, yeah. Visa, yep. I guess BlackRock will also invest in the new technology, which will be connected to Visa and MasterCard, involving your biometrics, probably. Chevron, Home Depot, Merck, the shipping company, of course, gigantic company. Oh, we spoke too soon. Pfizer. Of course, Pfizer. Yeah. Oh, what's next? Moderna? Surely not. Probably in some way they are. MasterCard, of course, yeah. That's no surprise there. PepsiCo, Coca-Cola as well. Would that be a surprise? I doubt it very much. Meta Platforms, we know what that is, of course, right? We're still talking into the billions here. Cisco, Bank America Corp, of course, yeah. Walmart, yep. McDonald's, shock horror. Yeah, McDonald's. Yeah. What did I read about McDonald's again? Did they not close down stores in America? Maybe McDonald's is included in the Great Reset. Oh, it never existed. Yeah, a thing of the past. Think of all the people that got obese by eating McDonald's, man. Honestly, that stuff is so grim, right? So toxic and addictive. And of course, people just keep going back and back, and it's so convenient because society, right? Work, kids, family, work, kids, sleep, family. Yeah. No time in this complex world that we're in. So, convenience is what? A good thing? Texas, Verizon, uh, Gilead. Is it Gilead Sciences? I'm sure it's Gilead. I'm sure they are involved with the inoculations as well. Evalance Health, more care. Yeah. Comcast, Disney. Yeah. Still talking into the billions here. Look, 33% in Disney. Classic. I'm surprised that most of them in the 30s are not all 33, but not far away. 32. Skull and Bones, maybe, right? Quite staggering. Personally, I think this should not be allowed. Honest to God, it just shouldn't. We should not have allowed this to be the case. I mean, think if you had a say in all these companies, think of what you could do. Think of the influence you would have on the masses. I mean, it would be hard to comprehend. The amount of money involved here is beyond me, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to even call BlackRock a company. I simply struggle to. They're just a monstrous entity. That's the only way I can describe them. Has anybody got a better description for BlackRock? Let me see. I need to double check that we're still going. We're still going. All right, cool. Zeus Scott is in the hood. Katie Kane as well. Good to see you back again. Great stuff. So yeah, we're rolling, right? Yeah. I'll put my phone here on this box, which is actually my old kitten. Her ashes are in it. She's here with us. My old cat Marsh. She was a great cat. Died very young. Got run over, and then we had to say our goodbyes. That was a very distressing time. I mean, I've lost my father, and he was my hero. Anytime I needed help, anytime I needed to talk, anytime I needed anything whatsoever, I went to see my dad. He was the guy I went to see, and he always made me feel better. No matter what the situation, he always made me feel better. And when I lost my dad, it was really tough, really hard. The hardest time possibly in my life. At least it was then. The only thing that really comes close, really close to that, was when my son got diagnosed with the cancer. I mean, that was seriously grim. But even when I lost my cat, a young cat, the pain was, it basically touched that hole in your heart. And it's not good. It is not good. And the more you get on in life, the more people, unfortunately, because of the way life is, the more people you depart, you say goodbye to. And over time, when you're very young, you you tend to think, well, it would be great to live forever, right? It would be fantastic. But then the older you get, you kind of think, well, maybe not. Um, and you kind of see why people they kind of don't want to live forever. When you add that to the society that we're in, they don't make it easy for us. They really don't. The world truly should be a better place, in my view. We should be healthier, a lot healthier as humans. And you can say, yeah, well, go to the gym more, this, that, eat healthy, and what have you. But again, convenience, the complex world that we're in, people getting brainwashed left, right, and center. They they walk right into it, and I guess that's a spell we need to try and break, right? Answers on a postcard. Anybody? Maybe not. One day we're gonna get there. I reckon it's gonna get to a pivotal point. The late great Bill Cooper said there's gonna be a civil war. Um, if there is, that's when it really begins. Until then, I'm unsure. Um, I can't see it. I can't see there being one. Would it be the answer in America? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it would be, to be honest. But I could see why people might want to go down that route. And to be honest, hey, I would probably be at a point where, yeah, give it a go, right? Why not? Incoming strike now, promoting civil war. Look what you've done. 10 people got shot in America. I remember, I remember, there was a guy who I think he killed either a family member, possibly a child, and maybe himself. And what they said is that he done it because of what David Icke had said about the world being controlled by lizards. And at that point, I thought, oh, where's this gonna go? I'm unsure. Um, I never heard very much more about it, but we could hear similar to that a bit more in the future, where they tie certain incidents with what someone said on, I don't know, YouTube or Twitter or Spacebook. So lots of good companies there, right? Yeah, McDonald's and Microsoft, Coca-Cola. I mean, JP Morgan, Visa, Alphabet, Johnson and Johnson, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple. Yeah. Yet no conflict of interest whatsoever, right? Yeah, the hand that feeds, excuse me, the hand that feeds all, basically. Fucking hell. My coffee's coming back. Ah, man. We'll blame it on it being late, right? Let's go with that. So in Apple, 133.73 billion in shares. Yikes. Yeah. And again, average buy price 33.47. Shock horror. Gilead Sciences again. We might look into them a wee bit more and their BlackRock connection. They might be one of the first ones we go to. Like I said, this is going to be the first in what could potentially be an indefinite series on the entity that is BlackRock. So we're kind of tonight touching base, if you like, right? And then we're going to take it from there. DJ Scoots in the house as well. Mic check 1 2. Good to see you back again. Great stuff. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat, but it is me, right? It is indeed me. But look who else we've got investments in. Ah, Tesla. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tesla. Shock horror. So they invest in Tesla, probably pulling strings at Tesla. I would imagine that BlackRock probably have more say than Elon himself, to be honest. I've said it from the start and I'll say it continuously. Elon's not got the money that they claim he has. It's simply not the case. He is a face. That's it. And Bill Gates is kind of the same. And of course they're both they're giving away all their money, so they're not gonna have any. Oh yeah. Because you go through your whole life working day and night, earning all your hard-earned money, and then what? Give it all away? Yeah. Of course it is 2023, right? Seemingly. So Tesla is that's one I actually never knew about until today. But yeah, not surprised, to be honest. What's my dog doing? Ah, dreaming. He's in dreamland. All right for some, right? All right for some. So we'll jump from there to the three main companies they invest in. We touched on there. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Gigantic amount of money. Huge amount of money. So a big say. And look at the size of Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. To think that one entity could potentially have control over what goes down at all three of them is staggering. Let's face it. I mean, that is quite unbelievable, that. It shows you, in my view, the theatre that we live in. A complete theatre, a circus. A BlackRock circus, right? So that would be the main, at least the main three for the time being. All the funds you can think of, right? Cash funds, commodity funds, stock funds, bond funds, multi funds, trans funds, non-binary funds, you name it, the whole lot. Anti-white funds, yeah, I'd imagine so, because that's a big thing at the moment. But there you go, right? I'm probably racist for saying that. Seemingly white's not a colour as well anymore. I must have missed the day at school when white became not a colour. Nope, no, it's not a colour anymore. No, don't be stupid. That would be racist. Thinking white's a colour. It's a conspiracy theory to think that white's a colour. Let's go with that. So when you get down to the kind of bare roots of any company, the big investor is the people that have the say. They're the people that pull the strings. And when you get down to BlackRock, who is it? Shock horror. It's the Rockefeller Horror Show. Yeah. So they pretty much own BlackRock, the Rockefeller entity. Rockefeller Capital Management. We'll manage your business. Yay, the business managers of the world. Hooray. Yeah. And I mean, nothing's changed. Let's face it. When you go back to standard oil and the power they had. Ah, but they don't have it today. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. They clearly do. And again, imagine, right? Imagine accumulating all this wealth, your family, your whole bloodline, your whole, all the way back to the aliens, whatever. And then what? Simply hand it over, give it all away. A bit like Bill Gates giving away all his money, right? Yeah. Oh, they don't have power anymore, the Rockefellers. They've not got money anymore. Yeah, sure. Sure. And I mean, some people try and say that as well about the Rothschilds. Oh, they've not got money. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they don't know how much money they've got. Yeah, because they've got that much money in assets and capital. They cannot even calculate the amount that it would be when you're talking about the Rockefeller entity and the Rothschild entity, and combine that, yikes, you would then clearly have world domination. Clearly. I mean, it would make sense for these two entities to be hand in hand rather than button heads. I think if they were to be butting heads, then the agenda wouldn't be rolling out as rapid as it is being rolled out. But the powers that be are clearly getting on. We went through the pandemic in lockstep, right across the board. They all bowed down, nation by nation. They even all rolled out the juice. Some of them even rolled out their own super duper magic juice. Hooray! Super duper gene technology. And it'll prevent you from getting the COVID. And it'll prevent you from spreading it. Hooray! How we partied the champagne. Yeah. Sure. And some people say, well, yeah, but Russia, they launched Sputnik. What, the satellite? No, not the satellite. Or Sputnik, if you like. Not the satellite. No, no, no. That's in Point Nemo now, of course, right? It was indeed their own super duper wonder juice. And how well did it do? Let's say, well, let's just not go there. Shock horror. Who would have thought it, right? And of course, the ever powerful Chinese. Yeah, the super Chinese. Yeah, big guy. Yeah, they do their own thing, the Chinese. Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't bow down to the New World Order. No, not the Chinese. Yeah. So they also rolled out a super duper wonder juice. And how well did that do? Well, let's just not go there. And let's not forget where it all began, seemingly. In a wee town called Wuhan is where it all began. That's what they're going with anyway. And even when you get into that, oh, my phone. Even when you get into that, the Wuhan laboratories were on thin ice now. They originated in America. The work that they continued was the work they started in America. In basically the same laboratories, probably the same people that worked there. And I think they actually moved it not long before it all kicked off. I can't remember exactly. I think it might have been 2018, excuse me, 2017 maybe. Someone might know. But I mean, it kind of said to me, yeah, that was not by accident, right? Clearly. But what do I know? And we never get to the bottom of anything in regards to the whole pandemic situation. We never will, of course. That's the whole point. The origin, nope. We're never going to get to the bottom of that. Shock horror. How many people it killed? God only knows. I don't know how anybody could believe any of the data. Honest to God, how anybody could believe any of it, I'm unsure. But what I would believe is what you see in your own community. And I guess I've kind of got to watch what I'm saying here, but there was a certain building in my town that remained empty pretty much the whole time. And this is a building that should have been full, pretty much packed with individuals seeking, I guess, help. But no, tumbleweeds, I say. Tumbleweeds, I tell you. And I actually took the time out and broke the guidelines. And went to visit this particular building on about 3 or 4 occasions in the height of the pandemic. And I can tell you right now, from what I seen, there wasn't one. There was nothing going on. Today, that's a wee bit different. It's a bit different now, but they still don't want people at the hospital. And my wife actually had to phone up to get an appointment. I don't know if I mentioned this to you. I don't think I did. But my wife phoned up to get an appointment. And she was on the phone for about an hour. So like a whole hour waiting. And then, I don't know, a few minutes to be told, oh, you're going to get a phone appointment. So she didn't laugh, but she waited a whole hour, 1 hour, over an hour, I think, to then be told, yeah, we can get you a phone appointment. But it was a situation where a phone appointment is no use. She has to go in and see a specialist. So the phone appointment is pointless. But that's where we're at. They still don't want people in the hospital. Um, and again, you can kind of see where it's going, right? So when you talk about the main investment, we went off a wee bit there. Shock horror. When you talk about the main investment in BlackRock, it is the Rockefeller entity. And I don't think that would shock anyone. Who else is it going to be? Of course, it's going to be them. Uh, when you look at who 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 invented, who started BlackRock, who are the people behind it, they give you entities like Larry Fink. Yeah, Larry, right. hmm So Larry is the guy, not Rockefeller. Sure, but it's clearly is because they invest all the money. But Larry would be similar again to what Elon Musk is a bit like and Bill Gates. He is indeed the face. He's the face, right? He's the face of BlackRock. And interesting as well when I looked at what it said. From 1970 to 2000, Fink started his career in 1976 at First Boston, a New York-based investment bank. Banker. Trustworthy guy then, right? You can trust me. I'm a banker. Yeah. Oh, man. So he started off at the New York-based investment bank, which I could probably guarantee you is a Rockefeller bank. And we'll get back to that one, where he was one of the first mortgage backed security traders and eventually managed the firm's bond department. Larry Bond. Bond. Fink Bond. Okay. So he's managing the firm's bond department. At first, Boston Fink was a member of the management committee, a managing director, and a co-head of the taxable fixed income division. Wow! Super duper Larry Fink. He also started the financial futures and options department and headed the mortgage and real estate products group. Holy moly! Take it away, Larry Fink. What do you think, right? Do you think he's a good guy? Do you think Mr. Fink is a Superman? I think not. Fink added, by some estimates, 1 billion to First Boston's bottom line. Right. He was successful at the bank until 1986, when his department lost 100 million due to his incorrect prediction about interest rates. Now, interesting that, right? What do we think about that one? Doesn't sound very good, that, does it? 100 million due to Larry's crazy prediction? Vote up. Whoops, it was vote down. Buy down, sell high, whatever. I don't know. But you get the point, maybe, right? So the experience influenced his decision to start a company that would invest clients' money while also incorporating comprehensive risk management. Right. So, from this incorrect prediction or problem, we did indeed get a solution, which would end up being originally the Blackstone Group, that he would incorporate in 1988 under the corporate umbrella of Blackstone Group. Fink co-founded BlackRock and became its director and CEO. Of course, who else but super duper Larry Fink, right? Some guy. So he co-founded BlackRock and became director and CEO. When BlackRock split from Blackstone in 1994, Fink retained his positions, which he continued to hold after BlackRock became more independent in 1998. His other positions at the company have included chairman of the board, chairman of the executive and leadership committee, chair of the corporate council, and co-chair of the global client committee. BlackRock seemingly went public in 1999. Wow. So I'm surprised there's not. Oh, he was the head cleaner. He was the janitor as well. He was the car park attendant. He was the chauffeur. He was the waiter. The waiter. He was the cook. He's like the guy you can't get rid of, right? But the Rockefellers are very good at this as well. They get their guy in. They get their guy in there from the very beginning, obviously, and they don't leave. But they'll take up many, many different roles, which is you can see it in business in the open, but they do that in real life as well. What is it? What's the quote again about the world's a stage and people play many characters? I probably butchered it completely, which is not a surprise, right? So again, on BlackRock, we're briefly touching on them tonight. I reckon on maybe Wednesday, we're going to get back into it for, yeah, I guess round two, maybe. So we're touching base tonight. Um, Again, the power they've got, I honestly feel that it should not be allowed. There should be a cap on the influence that any one company can have. And you would kind of, well, me, I've grown up thinking that that was maybe the case rather than, rather than growing up thinking, well, yeah, one big company owns, well, everything pretty much, everything that it needs to own to run the world, if you like. So when you look at BlackRock, there's nothing that they won't go to. There's nothing that they won't invest in. I mean, a criminal does not even cut it. It simply does not. Um, there's clearly a dark cloud over BlackRock, and it is the Rockefeller cloud, the satanic Rockefeller cloud, because they are satanic. There's no two ways about it. I guarantee you can take that to the Rockefeller Bank. So when you look at some of the companies that some of the other companies that BlackRock are involved in. We mentioned one, Vanguard, who deal in arms, arms, military technology. Another big one is the Lockheed Martin, which is basically BlackRock, from what I can see. It's all but BlackRock, all but in name. It's BlackRock, all but in name. Let's go with that. And they don't hide their connection with BlackRock. But when you look at Lockheed Martin, again, they're into military arms, supplying all kinds of terrible, 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 terrible technology. Technology that is built for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to harm or kill. So when you're dealing with BlackRock or companies like it, there's no morals whatsoever. There simply isn't. But again, there's not when you're dealing with the satanic entities like the Rockefellers. And yeah, Jekyll Island, of course. We done a live stream. I think it might have been one of the Rockefeller horror shows that we done. And the Rockefellers, they've got a big connection with Jekyll Island over in, I think, beside Georgia. Not far away from Georgia, I'm sure. We looked at it. It wasn't very far from the Georgia Guidestones. And of course, from in my own personal view, from what I could gather, the Rockefellers took part in providing the funds that built the Georgia Guidestones. And the guy they talk about who is behind it, I personally believe, is Lawrence Spellman Rockefeller. That's the guy. And when you look him up, you'll see why he's the guy. Not only that, he ticks all the correct boxes, all the correct dates, you name it. And still to this day, I'm waiting for someone to debunk my view that Lawrence Spellman Rockefeller is the guy. People think it's Ted Turner, but through my investigation, and I'm not an investigator, I'm a curious guy, I'm certainly that. And it was one of these situations that I thought someone needs to get to the bottom of that. And from what I could gather, the main person people said it was Ted Turner, the millionaire Ted Turner. It's not Ted, and we can debunk it being Ted very easily, going by the information given by the only person who met the guy behind the Georgia Guidestones. So I don't know, I'm unsure if anybody had previously debunked the Ted Turner theory, but through my investigation, I clearly debunked it being him, because not only did we find out information about the character behind it, but we learned that he died before 2010, and that narrowed it right down. And it certainly debunked Ted Turner being the guy behind it, because as far as I'm aware, Ted is still alive. If not today, he was then. So he got ruled out. And I narrowed it down through very simple facts that we got from the only person to meet the guy, who, what, where, why, and when. And some of the information that the guy gave away in an interview was very crucial, because He told us the guy had died in either sometime before 2010, and he also told us the person had a son. So even in a short span of the interview, he gave away key information regarding this person. And through the information that was given away by the people who met him, I narrowed it down. And it, I mean, it makes so much sense, but the guy also ticks every box. He matches up with the dates. And when you look at his history, the sort of person that he was, seemingly a naturist, very caring about nature, big emphasis on nature. Sound familiar? So again, I might have to go back to it. They got knocked down. Yeah, they got knocked down. But I kind of feel we still need to revisit because I'm adamant that I've cracked it. I'm adamant. I'll be the first to hold my hands up if I discover that, oh, wait, actually, I got it wrong. But I am adamant. And when I narrowed it down to this guy, I felt it in my stomach that it was him. He's the guy. And he's pretty much the only person in the world that fits the bill. And again, it was, if you didn't hear who I said, it was the person, the entity, Lawrence Spellman Rockefeller. Look him up if you don't know of him. He is a Rockefeller that most people did not know. He went kind of under the radar, very different from the rest at the time, which again was very similar to the character that is seemingly behind the payment, the handing over of the plans for the guidestones, the tombstones. So when you look at, we went off a wee bit there, but we need to get back into the guidestones. Honestly, I'm sure I cracked it. It's going to be my claim to fame, right? Let's go with that. So when we look at Lockheed Martin, they'll sell you anything you want: machine gun, tank, super fighter jet, M777. You're gonna want to go to Lockheed Martin. So BlackRock basically are Lockheed Martin. That would be my conclusion. They're the people behind Lockheed Martin. And Lockheed Martin are basically a big player in funding and providing Ukraine with all their arms and munitions. Hooray for the war in Ukraine! How we celebrated. Yeah. So, yeah, that's great, right? We'll give you the needs to further this war, this killing, if you like. Yeah. No morals whatsoever. Here, we'll give you the gun. It's not like we're pulling the trigger, right? So they're fully behind supplying Ukraine with basically all the sticks, stones, and guns that they need. And that's Lockheed Martin, aka BlackRock. They fund anyone who's willing to buy. Put it that way. When you come to the Russians, that's a bit different, but not really, because the company they use is pretty much the Russian version of Lockheed Martin, and we will get into that a bit more in the next episode of this. We're going to expand on that. And again, that shows you how it's right across the board. There is no they try and make it look different, but when you get right down to it and you look under the stone, ah, it's the same. Of course, right? Of course. So they want to, well, they are providing Ukraine, and they also want to provide them with F-16s to do what exactly? I thought Putin was the bad guy. What are we doing now? Fucking mass bombing? Villages, possibly? Innocent people? Yeah, but Ukraine, right? Yeah. So instead of saying, look, we'll fund peace by not giving you ammunitions, but saying, actually, let's knock it on the head. Let's talk. Let's come to the table. Let's make an agreement for the benefit of everyone. But of course, it wouldn't benefit them, that would it? Oh, no, no, no. War would benefit them because they provide the ammunition. Not only that, but the absolute brass neck of it is they will fund the war and also charge Ukraine for rebuilding Ukraine. I mean, it's perfect, right? Absolutely perfect. So BlackRock, through their entities, fund the war. Then through themselves and their investments, they get paid to rebuild Ukraine. Hooray! Yeah. See how it works, right? And I mean, all that money that the sheeple are throwing at Ukraine, give all your money to Ukraine! Ukraine! Zelensky! Look at him, he's a gay actor! Hooray! Well, it probably goes straight to BlackRock and the Rockefeller entity. Shock, horror. So they're going to rebuild Ukraine. Ukraine are going to pay them to rebuild it, even though they fund the war through their entities. That when you get down to them, they are indeed BlackRock. And I mean, it's comical how this is so clear in the open. Ah, yeah, we'll rebuild it for you. Give me the money. We can fix it. Right? Who caused the. Don't forget about who caused the problem. Yeah. And again, no shout for peace in the world. No one talks about peace anymore. And when they do, it's very brief and unnatural. That's the only way I can describe it. They want the war to continue indefinitely by the sounds of it. Could we see a major incident this year? Potentially. Percentage wise, I give it about 60%. A major incident going down. I kind of think it'll be next year. I think we will see what's the word? Advancement in the war, in the world of war that we're now in. This world of fear that they're creating. Ah, the war! I don't know if you've seen the community post that I done. There was a headline that came out the other night, and it said, "Warning! Met Office warning! Ah, Met Office warning! What could it be? Thunder and lightning, flooding, hurricane. No, you might get sunburn." Huh? Yeah, the warning was sunburn. Careful now. Sunburn. Ah, the climate change. Damn you, climate change. We're going to get sunburn. Yeah. Yeah, because that's a totally new thing, that, right? Sunburn. Certainly not in Scotland. It's very common. Even on a winter's day, we get sunburnt by the big yellow thing in the sky, whatever it is. Answers on a postcard, right? So they're going to rebuild Ukraine. I mean, you could not make that up. Of course, yeah, BlackRock to save the day. Shock horror. So I don't want to go on too long today. I kind of just want to touch base with it and show you a few of the things we're going to be getting into. I reckon we could do about 4 live streams on this over the coming weeks. So, I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot to get into. They've got Vanguard down here as a competitor. There is no such a competition. There simply isn't. There's a again, they kind of work hand in hand, and you can see it clear as day. And we go by their actions, not by what they tell us. And again, you've got 33 million there. Where is it? Random figure that, right? It tends to get used quite a lot. Funny. I see Kari is in the hood as well. Good to see Kari. Analog as well. Good to see Analog back again. Dominic. Spanish chicken. Good to see you. I love a bit of Spanish chicken, me. Great stuff. We're still going. We'll jump back into the chat in a sec. So yeah, they're going to rebuild Ukraine. And they have been accused of cashing in on Ukraine's destruction. Oh, don't be silly. I mean, it's not like they're funding the war. Because if they were, then I could see. Wait, what? What, BlackRock? Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, definitely cashing in then, right? I mean, it's comical. Absolutely comical. It's like one big giant con. The whole war situation is one big giant con. Honest to God. Similar to 2020. When they tried to con us as well. But of course, we didn't bend, we didn't break. We seen through it. And we see through this. We see through the lot, let's face it. And it's kind of fitting because going back to the movie They Live, you're putting on the sunglasses and you're seeing it for what it is. It is a bit like that. And it can be hard for people to kind of grasp it, come to terms with it. And I certainly understand that. And my heart goes out to anybody who does struggle, because I know a lot of people do, and they kind of they get tormented, they torment themselves with the constant questions of, but why this, but why would they do that, but why this and why that, and the bottom line is you're never going to get the answer. You can speculate. I would certainly go as far as that. But you also need to remember that the likelihood of actually getting to the bottom of anything is very, 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 very slim. Simply because of the amount of deception that is out there. Especially today. I mean, fucking hell. The amount of information that's out there, it's quite staggering, to be honest. We kind of went through a period of time in humanity where they dumped a lot of knowledge, which is interesting. And that's something that I kind of want to touch on. Although I'm not sure how yet. uh, but I kind of want to get into the point, or my kind of summarization of a time that we went through where they have flooded the masses with a ginormous amount of information and knowledge. Why they done that, I'm unsure yet, but we'll get to the bottom of it. Otherwise, I'll be asking myself all night, why? We've all been there, right? Do you know it's more stupid things that annoy me? Like, bloody hell, what was the name of that band again? Or what was the name of that singer? What was that TV show again? Stupid things like that. I'll lose sleep over it. Um, the hidden hand controlling the world. Well, we can fight that again tomorrow. You've always got to again prioritize as well. I think a lot of the time, people who tend to struggle, they tend to be on their own. They tend to be isolated to a certain extent, and I think that's when you can maybe sometimes have too much time to think about stuff. Whereas from my own point of view, having having a wonderful wife and three magnificent children uh, in my home with me constantly tends to give me not much time, not much time to dwell, or not much time to maybe overthink on certain things to a point where it maybe worries you, stresses you, becomes exasperates you, and that it can become stressful. It can become tiring. But again, the bottom line, in my own view, I think we all need to remember is that we the likelihood of getting to the bottom of anything is very slim, if you can say it right. It wasn't wanting to come out there, but it did. We got there in the end. So I mean, look at all these board of directors. Yeah. Put as many names as you can. Put a million names there, but don't put the Rockefellers, right? Keep them out. But there you go. Some of these we will be getting into. I think the guy Robert and again Larry, Mr. Fink. Yeah, totally his idea. After he what ran a company into the ground. I bet you that wasn't by accident. I can bet you any money you like. There was a deal that got made there, and Larry would have known what he was doing, and it would have been the writing would have been on the wall for BlackRock as a company. Larry would have fitted the bill to be the face at the time. The Rockefeller entity, when you follow the money, is the number one entity behind the monstrous company that is BlackRock. And when people today think, not Larry Fink, but think that the Rockefellers don't have a big influence over the world, they need to Larry Fink again, because they clearly do. And when you look at even the Rockefeller Foundation itself, the website, it tells you everything they're involved in. During the height of the pandemic, even the testing, the super duper testing. Where would we have been without it? Ah, the wonderful testing. We're so glad we had the testing. We'd still be in 2020 if it wasn't for the super duper testing. Yeah. All hail the Rockefellers, right? And of course, funding the research for the super duper juice. Yep. Look no further than the Rockefeller University with their super duper peer reviewed papers. Hooray. There's not many entities in the world that have as much power as the Rockefellers. The only one that comes close. Well, there's only two, really, in my opinion. And that is, of course, the Rothschild entity, but the Khan entity as well, the Khan family, which is more, of course, the Arabian, Asian side of the world, um, which I don't know that much about, to be honest. But like I said, there's nowhere we won't go. So we might get into that in the future, right? We'll jump back into the chat for a sec. I wanted to check out. I mean, clearly, if they are a Rockefeller entity, which they are, they're also going to have ties with, yes, you guessed it, the Fed, the Federal Reserve, of course. And when you look at some of the dealings that got made there, there's no surprise, right? The Fed gave BlackRock 4.3 billion as an investment um, because of the pandemic. Whereas Vanguard, their competitor, seemingly got the 33 million, which is tiny compared to what, 4.3 billion? Yeah, you can see who's the favorite child there, right? And of course, the Federal Reserve, well, again, it's a Rockefeller entity. And again, it's another entity that should not be. It simply should not have happened, but it did. They made it happen by hook or crook, murder, even, probably on a mass scale to make it happen. This is the kind of people you're dealing with here. They would not bat an eyelid. And when you look at the federal, if you can say it, the Federal Reserve, right? Look at the people who died on the Titanic. Look at the groups they were involved in, particularly the ones against the Federal Reserve. And I mean, the Titanic's an interesting one, right? I think we're going to have to get into that as well. There's so much to get into. Did it even sail? Seemingly, it might not have even been the Titanic that sailed, but the mothership. And seemingly, even when it sailed, it was on fire already in the engine room. It was doomed from the off. Explosions were talked about. The metal, the metal hull, the structure of the boat looked like it was more outward rather than inward. So if you think of, I don't know, I'm going to be terrible at explaining this, but a bullet hole, right, through the wall, you would see the jagged on the other side, where it would be a clear circle on your side. So you can tell which way it's went through. And I think they tried to say, when you look at the hole in the Titanic and what's seemingly the Titanic, it's more like a outward explosion that caused it, rather than hitting uh seemingly an iceberg. So many questions with the Titanic. Honest to God, so many. I reckon we're going to have to get into it. So we'll jump back to the live stream, the comments. Can we work the screen? Ah, there we go. So BlackRock, there you go. Where do you begin? Honest to God, what do they not want to be involved in? We're going to see a lot more in the next one in regards to some of the technology. Of course, AI. AI is got to be there, right? Because that's the future. Yeah. There's a lot of fear at the moment surrounding AI. Does anyone else notice that? Ah, AI's coming. Not only that, you're going to get sunburn. Ah, climate change. Quickly. Geoengineer. Quick speed. We need to spray the sky. Wait a minute. It's already happening. Shock horror. I see Sensum is in the hood. Good to see our English brother back again. What's my dog doing? What have you got? Lie down. Just lie down there. Honestly. Get a dog, they said. It'll be fun, they said. They were on the wind up, right? So, I guess happy Easter. Is that how you say it? I'm unsure. I had a good day today. Easter for us, we're not a religious family. It's more to do with the kids, right? We obviously they get their chocolate and stuff, but we also decorate different items. The eggs, painting eggs, and the youngest they get different baskets. Then they can decorate. What they do is they decorate their own basket. We get all different bits of craft equipment and all the Easter related craft stuff, right? My wife picks it all up clearly, and they really enjoy it. The younger ones, and it's great to see them being creative and using their initiative and getting hands on rather than sitting playing a bloody iPad or a computer. So that I like to see, and I always enjoy Easter. I really do. I don't think I've ever had a bad one, and my wife said the same. We always have a good Easter time. It's a good time of the year. Um, the only time that's better is summer, which is of course on the 21st of July, 2:30 in Scotland. Only until 3:30. So blink and you might miss it. That's the Scottish summer. It's gone. There you go. See it next year. But I love this time of year. So yeah, it always gives me a good feeling. The growing of the plants, the caring for the plants, the bees coming out, the insects, the butterflies. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So it's a good time of the year for me. And I've got my son, my youngest son, Billy. He's big time into growing his own vegetables at the moment. So he's doing that, and I've got his own wee sort of bed made up. And he's got his carrots. What's he got again? Carrots, beetroot. I can't even remember. Carrots, beetroot, red onion. There's more. Tomato. There's one more. I can't remember. For the life of me, I can't remember. But he's got about 5 different vegetables that he's growing, or that he's grown from seed. So I've took him through the the whole process of growing them from seed, potting them up, uh, and going through that process. I've got him to do it himself, and I've just showed him. So it's kind of like his project, his own one. And what I did was I created a wooden bed, a wooden frame. I'm not very I'm not very good at woodwork, to be honest, but I had an old bed frame that I kept the wooden slats. And from them I created a box, unbelievably. And what I did is I've screwed it onto the fence in the back garden because last year when I done a similar thing with my youngest son Billy, my cat decided that she was going to use the box because Muggins here put it on the ground, right? But this time she can't get to it. And it's not even, I made it long but not wide, but wide enough for the veg, obviously. But she won't be in it, put it that way. And I've also got a net on it just in case she tries to get into it. Um, I mean, it's all natural, you could say, but I don't really want my cat doing her business in my my son's vegetable patch. So hey, you know what? In life, it's a learning process, no matter what you do. And the best way to learn is through error. So in error, there is actually glory, believe it or not. It's the best way. Speaking from experience, too much experience on that. The best way to learn is through error. All hail error. It's the only way that I've learned a lot of things in my life. And sometimes, in my own view, probably every time, it's the best way to learn. To go through it, to do it, to see where you've went wrong, then go again, and this time be the winner, right? Get successful. I mean, last year we went through the whole process anyway and put the net on after we realized the cat had been in it quite a bit. We still went through it, and we still grew them, and I showed him how you would harvest different things, and obviously the watering that we done. It would have went in one ear and out the other, but we'll do it. We'll continue to do it, God granted, every year. But yeah, we just went through it, but we never ate the vegetables. I thought, nah, I can't. I just can't. But it felt bad, kind of putting it to waste. So I used it in a natural compost that I've kind of made, basically. So it never went to waste. Waste not, want not, right? It just never ended up on the dinner plate, but it will go back into an organic soil eventually. So, I mean, there's a use for everything, right? Seemingly. So we'll jump into the chat before we say cheerio. Um, Good to see Kari in the hood, who is indeed in Mexico. You're away back to Belfast. You've got the munchies. Yeah, well, we've all been there, right? We know what that's like when you're hungry. We'll go with that. Yeah, so Mexico banned geoengineering, which is great. I think Kari might be the guy to speak to if we need to move to Mexico, right? Let's not rule it out. So stay in touch, Carrie, who is actually my only, one and only ever admin on Telegram. So there you go. Great stuff. Much appreciated. And yeah, so you went back home for a wee holiday. Yeah, quite bad. Um, it's been quite bad in Scotland as well. There's a Telegram group called Chemtrail UK. If you go on that, you can see right across the UK every day somewhere's getting sprayed like bloody bugs without fail. Oh, your mum came over. Ah, don't mind me, right? Don't mind me. Oh, honest to God. One of these days I'll get it right. So you've been there 6 years now. That's quite a while, right? Do you think you'll move back to Ireland, or do you think that's you now staying there forever? Um, would you come back to to the UK? Probably not, right? Who could blame you? Honestly, people must look at the UK and think, "Holy fuck, what the hell happened there?" I could imagine a lot of countries they'll be laughing at the UK. I might go to Mexico one day. Irish Mum in Mexico sounds like a movie title. We might be onto something here, right? Yeah, that could be a movie. Of course, yeah, Max Egan. He went over to Mexico. Um, I've not watched Max in a while, to be honest. I think he's on Odyssey and BitChute. Max is all right. Um, Again, I take it all with a pinch of salt, right? You don't put too much faith into these people. You never know where they might try and lead you. Um, but I would like to think that Max is a straight up guy. I remember he had an incident which was really bloody weird, right? Um, he was he got attacked or something like that. I'm unsure. And then he made a weird video and then deleted it and then went a bit funny, basically, and said he got attacked. I wouldn't rule out that actually happening because at the time, Max was doing great work on the Australian wildfires at the time. He was exposing it big time, possibly to an extent where they done something to him. God only knows what they done. But by the sounds of what he said, they attacked him with some beam of light or electronic frequency. I'm unsure. Um, and then, of course, he went away to Mexico, which I know for a fact a lot of people they were not happy about. They were not happy. Um, I know one person who they were actually really disappointed that Max had left Australia. But if you look at it from Marx's point of view, he paints a picture where it was it was probably a good idea to get out when he did. I think he wants to go back, but I don't know. Personally, I can't see him going back. Although I could be wrong. I could be wrong. What do I know, right? Good to see Sensum in the hood. And Dominic as well. A pleasure to see Dom back again. Phil as well in the hood. Good to see Phil. A pleasure. Thank you for all the support. Katie as well. Katie Kane. Lots of native plants from a rescue before development. Yeah, that's good. That's great. That's a great idea. I've never heard of anyone doing that. So that is a great idea. That sounds like something that I would do with you. And I'd be like, yeah, let me know. I'll come with you, right? We'll get them. We'll save them. We'll take them home and we will propagate them, right? Definitely. So good to see Katie as well. A pleasure. Anyone else that I missed? Mike Met. Yeah, a lot of people are not keen on Marx. Again, yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. Again, with anyone, you've got to. You've got to be your own leader, your own judge, your own jury. Don't let anyone else be it. So good to see Mike Mitt in the hood. Did I miss anyone else? I probably did, to be honest. So I reckon I'm going to be back on Wednesday, right? And we're going to get into. It's either going to be geoengineering or BlackRock again. And it sounds like since I'm got a strike for the BlackRock, talking about BlackRock. So maybe we might get one. Hopefully we don't. Because if we do, we'll be on 2 here and 2 on the original. Which would not be an ideal situation. So hopefully Susan's going to let us off tonight, right? But we are now into Monday, Easter Monday. So I guess happy Easter, right? I'm still on holiday for a week. So no rest for the wicked, right? Not quite a holiday when the kids are on holiday at the same time. Because of course I'm at college and their holidays are the same as the school. So I'm hoping that we're going to continue to get some good weather and we can get out there and enjoy it. Spend some precious time, priceless time together in the beautiful world that we've got, right? Forget about the New World Order for a day. Forget about the Rockefellers for a day. And yeah, live your life, right? So I guess I can find a tune. I don't know what we're going to go with today. We'll find something. Oh, what have I done? Honest to God, man. Man, we'll get there, right? So I hope everyone's had a great weekend. Like I said, I'm going to be back on the Tuesday. No, the Wednesday, of course, yeah. Not the Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday. It could be a bit earlier, so probably about 9 o'clock. It is going to be geoengineering or the BlackRock entity again. So, thank you very much to everyone. And thank you again to everyone for supporting, engaging, not just here, but on the original channel, which is now in the 5K club, unbelievably. How it got there, I don't know. But when I look back on the analytics, just on that, in about 2020, the middle of 2020 to about the middle of 2021, maybe, I'm unsure exactly. the channel really did take off massively. And at one point, it was getting about 50, on average, 40 to 50 subscribers a day. I could not keep up with it. Honest to God, I couldn't. The amount of comments was unreal. I couldn't keep up. I had to set aside time because I always like to reply if I can, at least to some of the comments. So I used to have to set aside a time through the week to reply to about 600 comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you, did it, whatever it may be. And because I like to repay the people who have taken the time to engage when I can. I like to engage with them. And it was during that time it was kind of chaotic. And I had done a 3-part video series on hospitals and the fact that there wasn't very many people there. And the first part to that took off big time, honestly. It was quite a good video. I think it's still on my Odyssey channel. And it took off there, and I think it got about before it got deleted, I think it had about 8,000, 9,000 views, and that was part 1. And after about the 3rd part on the hospitals, the channel, something happened. YouTube were like, nope, this is not getting the same traction anymore. And you can tell when you look at the analytics, something definitely did happen. YouTube put a cap on it. And you can look at it, didn't go any higher than a certain point after that. All the way, flatlined basically. Shadow banned maybe, I'm unsure. I think a wee bit more than that, especially at that time, given the situation we were in and the stuff that I was covering. They didn't want it to go out. I remember as well at times they were taking off like 200 subscribers would just get wiped off, gone overnight. And then miraculously, they would reappear a few days later. And I mean, that would not have been by accident. No way. So even after everything that they've done to the channel, we're still here. We're still going. And I mean, the amount of subscribers it gets, it kind of doesn't mean very much to me. It's already surpassed anything I ever thought it would have got. But it was good to see it get the 5K mark before it is potentially deleted again. Because if it does get deleted again, that could be it. It could be 3 strikes and you are out, 3 terminations and you're out. But do you know this? Even if it does get deleted again, terminated again, I'm not going to give up on it. I will revive it again. And like Jesus Christ himself, we will indeed roll away the stone and be reborn, if you like. And every time we've came back from deletion, it's been like we've lost any traction the channel had. And before the last termination, I would put out a video and it would maybe get 50 to 60 likes in about a day. Now I'm lucky if it even gets that in its lifetime, never mind a day. So we lost, albeit the subscriber count is a lot bigger today than it was in 2020. The audience is not the same, which is interesting, right? It's again to do with how basically YouTube work and decide on what people see and what they don't see. Talk about tyranny, right? But there you go. So, I guess, yeah, like I always say, whatever you do, not for one split second live in fear. Do not do it, right? No matter what, do not do it. And like I always say, no matter what, no matter where, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye bye.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. In the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, they may find. No, they did it. In the year 3535, ain't gonna need to tell the truth, tell no lies. Everything you think, do or say is in the pill you took today. In the year 4545, ain't gonna need your teeth or your eyes. You won't find a thing to chew. Nobody's gonna look at you. In the year 5555, your arms hanging limp at your side. Your lips got nothing to do, so she's doing that for you. In the year 6565, ain't gonna need no husband, won't need no wife. You pick your son, your daughter too, from the bottom of a long glass tube. In the year 7510, if God's coming, ought to be here by then. Maybe he'll look around himself and say, I guess it's time for Judgment Day. In the year 8510, God's gonna shake his mighty hand. He'll either say I'm pleased with where man's been, or tear it down and start again. In the year 9595, I'm kinda wondering if man's gonna be alive. He's taking everything this poor earth can give, and he ain't putting back a goddamn thing. Now it's been 10,000 years. The man has cried a billion tears for what he never knew. But now man's reign is through, but through the eternal night, twinkling of starlight, so very far away. Maybe it's yesterday.